Howdy, America. You're watching the Odds Brothers podcast live, or it might be recorded depending on what time you actually get this. But we're at the Southland Casino and Hotel. We're inside the Bentley Sportsbook, and it's a Monday, a WTF Monday, which means we get to recap everything in store, including...
How about them Cowboys?
That's right. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Welcome to the Odds Brothers podcast, coming to you from the Bentley Sportsbook inside the new Southland Casino and Hotel. Follow the Odds Brothers podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, and YouTube. Today's show is presented by Bentley Online Sportsbook. Download the Bentley Online state-specific sportsbook app today from the Google Play or Apple App Stores. Now here are the hosts of the show, Moneyline Mark.
I'm not a smart man.
And Point Spread Shane.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Oh, good Lord. What's going on, everybody? I know. Everybody's probably jonesing thinking, hey, there's just one guy in the shot. It must just be a solo show today. Oh, contraire mon frere. I've got a trio of folks here with us today. The usual suspects.
Oh, boy.
The usual suspects. Mr. Moneyline Mark.
Otto.
Which I guess would be like the Brady Bunch. Hello, Mark.
Hey, what's going on?
And then you got Parlay Preston. What's on, Preston? What's going on? All right, everybody. We got a WTF Monday here. Keep in mind, we love it if you'd like and subscribe right here on the YouTube page. And if you can't catch us on the video side, keep in mind we are all over the place on your normal platforms for podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon. That's probably about it.
Wherever you can get us. Hey,
Yeah,
you
wherever
know,
you can get us. Bootleg it somewhere.
we're on TikTok now, right?
Not that I know of.
I thought Bentley was.
Oh,
Yeah,
Bentley's on TikTok.
That's what he said the other day.
Yeah.
That's right.
He
Now,
slept since then. He forgot. He's old.
Does he put clips of this show on TikTok?
I guess it's either that or him dancing.
Well,
Probably you guys dancing.
Oh, yeah.
he never told me about that. I could get some moves in.
There you go.
Yeah, I
Go
want
ahead.
a TikTok, Paul.
Stand up and dance with your Cowboys gear like you're wiping your butt.
I can tell you, and we'll get to the NFL action as we recap everything. But, yeah, the going into halftime was about what I expected, actually. I didn't think they were going to blow them away. But then the second half was more than I expected. Of course, turnovers will do that in the NFL contest. But what I guess it was the first time ever that score appeared in the NFL. And they've been playing football for how long?
lot
Oh,
of
that
years.
was pretty
Many
impressive.
times.
The Cowboys playing West
Yeah.
Memphis Junior High.
It wasn't West Memphis. First of all,
Uh-oh. Now you started him.
now you started it. Now you started it. I believe Philly had to scramble to beat him by a point, and Dallas slapped him at home by 40. So let's talk about that 50 burger they hung up on him, shall we?
You know.
We will in a little bit, I guess that is. But first, because we love to give away Nick's money.
All right. We're giving away
You
some
ready
Nick's
for
money?
some Nick's money? Yeah.
Money.
All right.
Set it up, Tiger.
For all you first-time bettors out there on the Bentley app in Arkansas and Tennessee, you can make your first wager up to $250 as long as that first wager is minus 250 on odds or greater. And apparently somebody still got the Cowboy fever.
Just trying to get it in anywhere you can.
I was trying to get
Oh,
it inside.
Jesus. And if your first bet is a loser, you can redeem that for your first loser is a free bet up
So-
to $250.
So if you would have taken the Colts yesterday and bets at 250, you got your 250 back?
It depends if
If you bet 250 on the Colts, yes. Okay.
were the
I'm
odds
just
minus 250 or greater?
They sure weren't minus anything. They were definitely greater.
Oh.
With a 10.5 point, I think it was
Had to
plus
find
three.
out.
I think it was a plus 360. I think if you took the Colts money line yesterday, I remember looking at that once, but I can't sign up for any of Nick's free money
Right.
because I'm an employee.
Me either.
At least
But
that
he
they know of.
does offer it.
They do offer it.
A lot.
My name is Shazam, and I got a Bentley account in both states. What? Nothing more?
His name is Shazam. Unemployed.
Not yet.
All right.
He's all tickled to death. He's got this Dallas under his wing today.
Hey, it's always good when your team wins, right, Preston?
That's true.
I mean, I would have been okay with a 1-point win, but I wouldn't have felt great about it. But
Oh,
yesterday,
at least I want to hear this. I want to hear this enthusiasm come December 25th.
I know. We'll get to that game.
Yeah. I hope I have the enthusiasm that day.
First of all, it will not be on that podcast. It'll be on the 26th. I'll need a day to kind of cry if it turns out the way
You'll
it
need
could.
a day to practice those vocals.
I know, and we'll remind everybody it might be watching for the first time what that means, because we got I got a bet with a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and not the guy over here.
Not me,
Not
but
him.
you know,
But
I still didn't see it that way.
I'm over here.
all right, let's get to the college football games, because now the regular season ended. Now the championship games have ended. There's only one more game really left, the Army-Navy game, which we'll hit that on Friday in our other podcast. But in the Pac-12 game, we could finally say goodbye to USC. The defense was a liability like normal. I know Caleb had issues late health-wise, but they got smoked by Utah.
Yeah.
You know,
It was because of his fingernails.
whatever it was.
Did you see his fingernails?
I did not.
He painted them.
Yep. Karma got him.
Yeah, karma got him.
What did he paint him? National championship yellow or something?
No,
derogatory comment.
Yeah, I was fixing to say he was, just made a bad comment towards Utah. Utah was on one hand. I'll give you the other
And sucks.
four-letter word over here.
No.
Oh, four-letter word.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yep.
I would expect that from Spencer Rattler, but not from that guy.
Yeah, it came back and bit him.
It did, and Utah smoked them 47-24, so USC was favored in that game by under a field goal. It didn't matter. Wind sailed over. So
We had no heads up there. However, our high riser did pick that game correctly.
he did, only because he liked Utah's landscape better, which totally means that you do not have to be a genius to play sports.
Let me tell you, when it comes to his pick six, you'll see that might start going that way. What's prettier?
Yeah, where would I like to vacation? Although I would have still picked Southern California over Utah, personally.
I don't know. Utah steps up for these games. Like every year, they seem to step up just real big in these big high pressure games. So.
And I didn't give him credit. I didn't go back and look, but Utah beat them earlier in the year.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That was their one loss. Now it's their two losses.
Right. Now it's their two losses,
That's
and
right.
they will not be in the national championship. So let's talk
the
real
Rose Bowl.
quick. Utah, based on what you see. Now, just for those wondering, Utah gets to play what? TCU or Michigan? Where do they rank?
Hold on. I'll tell you where they're at.
Utah.
I can't believe you don't have
Nowhere. Never mind. They didn't get in either. What am I thinking? Your Georgia will play Ohio State. And Michigan plays TCU, if I'm reading this right.
Utah plays Penn State in the Rose Bowl.
Okay, in the Rose Bowl. Utah plays Penn State. Ooh, that'll be a good game when we get to the bowl picks.
Right.
I like that matchup, actually, for both sides of the ball. Going into Saturday, if you will, Kansas State and TCU, best game of the week or the weekend, went to overtime. TCU had twice from about the half-yard line to get in. They went for it on third and obviously fourth down and failed both, so that made an easy field goal attempt there for Kansas State to walk it off in OT. A lot of people, including some ones that I might know down in the racing world here, decided to mouth off and say Alabama's actually in, so I'm going to be up $40 today when I get back to work down there because I bet a 20 spot that there's no way they can let friggin' Alabama in with two losses compared to the way that game came out. Now, if TCU got blown out by 30 or 40 points, I could see them backdooring them out of there.
I still think they should have got in.
Who, Alabama?
Yeah.
Oh, why?
Well, here's my argument, and I don't know what the committee looks at when they do all these things, but here's my argument.
All right.
If you put TCU, just uproot them right out of the Big 12 and put them in the SEC, they may end up 8-4.
Okay, so
They don't.
maybe. All right. So let me counter that real quick because I heard that all weekend. I also heard this, primarily from Nick Saban's mouth. Well, if we were going to be put in the bowl game with TCU, who would be favored? Well, if you did that, TCU would never be favored. They could have went 12-0, 13-0 in this case, and said, well, if they would have go up against Alabama, who's on the outside, who would be favored? Alabama would have still been favored, right?
I would think so.
So undefeated don't matter either.
No, and then that's where this whole thing is flawed, I think. I just believe that if you want the best four teams, because that's what they say every time, I want the best four teams, I want the best four teams. No, you want the four teams with the best record.
There you go.
Because you don't want the best four teams, because honestly, the best four teams, probably three of them right now are sitting in the SEC.
Right. I call it the Gonzaga rule.
Right.
that all changes though soon, right?
Yeah, I think next year.
Is it next year?
2
No,
years,
it's
isn't
2
it?
years, 2024.
Yeah,
They'll go to
2024.
Not
12
soon
teams.
enough, so we get to have the same conversation next year, huh?
Well, then Alabama would be in, and we'd see. But I'll tell you
Yes.
this. I know Nick And I'm not trying to say Alabama's not good when I say this, but I will say that their defense is not good.
No.
They are not the Alabama that rolls over everybody every year. So to sit there and think that they are one of the 4 best teams, I would counter-argue, and this is kind of against my religion when Preston's on the show, I would argue that had Tennessee's quarterback not got hurt, Tennessee's definitely better than Alabama. They beat them.
Right.
Now, granted, it was a walk-off field goal, and I get it, but they beat them. So why wouldn't Tennessee be in over Alabama?
I agree with that, too.
Last time I checked, Tennessee's got 2 losses as well.
Let's see what happens is on the second Tuesday of the month. Okay, we had no winners there. Let's move on.
Right. Oh, by the way,
We can sit here and argue as much as the committee did. But
was there any heads in that game?
There was none.
Damn, because
That's 2 there in a row, by the way.
But here's where some heads pop up.
Yeah, here's a
All
free
right.
pick for you.
Here's
That
a
was
free
difficult
pick.
for us.
Yeah, Georgia 50-30 over LSU. 18.5, so it wasn't by a lot there that they squeaked in, but they did cover. Looked good.
They crushed them in the first half. I
Yeah.
think they just let them back in the second half.
A lot
It
of
shouldn't have been
garbage
that
crap.
close.
Yeah, a lot of garbage crap in the left. So Georgia definitely, whether it be record or just by the looks of it, is the best team in the country. If I remember right, the way this sets up, I think it's Georgia and Ohio State in the first game, right?
Yeah.
Woo! You'd rather see that in a national championship game,
Well,
but
They only did that because, honestly, I think Ohio State should have been number 3 and TCU number 4.
Should have been.
But they didn't want to put Michigan, Ohio State in the semifinals, so they switched it to put that game. I mean, honestly, that it should have been the other way around.
it should have been the other way. That one I'll definitely agree with, Mark.
All right. Moving on. Georgia's easy pick.
So they going to win the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is it because they're unbeaten?
Yes.
Okay.
TCU, OSU, Saban paid who? It doesn't matter.
It don't matter.
Georgia by 50.
Georgia
I didn't say that.
Georgia by 50.
That's Preston's dreamland odds boost or whatever it is.
No, man. I watch those memes all year long. They're hilarious to me, so I just changed it up a little bit.
I like it.
Oh, man.
I like it.
What do you got here? Oh, Tulane.
Well,
yeah,
what you
they
mean,
played
what I got?
UCF. I'm sorry, the AAC.
Yeah.
I forgot we even included this. They're not a Power 5.
No, but they're in the top
But
25.
They are in the top 25. That's probably why we did it. And
Yeah.
actually, they moved up after this, the 14th now. But they easily dispatched UCF. They were 4.5-point favorites.
These picks are for free as well.
Yes, they won by 17 and another over.
The
in
over
this
in that
case.
game was the easiest bet all week.
Okay.
I had that in 3 different.
Yeah, I was surprised that wasn't a 60-something either. This one I didn't think was coming up, though, as far as going over Michigan and Purdue, because I didn't see Purdue scoring what they did, actually. I know a little of it was late garbage, but 22-43.
Yeah, I had over on that.
Michigan had some struggling going on there early first half against Purdue. So
They've been struggling in the first half against a lot of teams. They just blow it out in the second.
yeah, kind of like the Cowboys.
Oh, Lord.
See how I brought it back? Michigan will stay undefeated as well and move in. They are second in the college football playoff ranking,
You
so they
muted
will
me.
play TCU. What?
Bump that slider up a little bit. There you
Sorry.
go.
You want to hit it again?
Not gonna be able to do it.
Yeah. Anyway,
Michigan going to win that game by double digits.
Michigan should.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
double digits if it's 10-13. Are you saying double digits
No,
like 20 to 30?
They'll win by double digits.
Like 20 to 30 or
Oh,
10?
no, just 10 or more. I think they'll win by 10 or more.
Okay, I agree with like the 10-13, but I don't agree with 20-25. TCU's got too much offense. They're not Purdue.
Well, Ohio State had a whole lot of offense, too, and you saw what Michigan did to that.
Yeah. And another one.
Anyway. And the last one on the college game, the North Carolina Tar Heels do what they do.
Look at all
Lose.
those.
Yeah, we got hot late in the games there.
Yeah.
Clemson 7.5. They easily dispatch them 39-10. It did go under though, like I believe we both picked, because we didn't believe North Carolina could score any points, and Clemson's not used to doing anything more than probably 30 to 35 in a given game either.
Yeah, I think that's probably the last time you'll see my head.
All day.
No, there'll be a couple.
That's the last
Let's just say-
game Clemson's going to win this year, so we'll enjoy that.
Oh, I don't even know who
Who
they're
they playing?
Oh, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Are you going to get your quarterback back, or is he done?
No, he's done.
Okay.
He's done.
So those are your remainder, the final college top 25 football. There is one more football game we'll talk about. And then when we get to the bowl games, which I believe start December 16th.
Yeah, I got the schedule over here in case we needed it. But
Nebraska's not playing. There's
So-
no more college football.
That's the Toilet Bowl, and that one's played next week. Nobody's playing it. It's not even on TV.
It's not even. It's not even streaming.
Maybe on Amazon because they put all those bad
on
games
Thursday
on
night.
Amazon Thursday night.
They're going to put it on Thursday Night Football. Yeah. So we'll
awesome.
get to the bowl game picks on the 16th. Then we'll start doing them in whatever's playing in that next week increments until we get all the way through the CFP. All right, the NFL noon games. Keep in mind that Carolina and Arizona are off of the week, so they did not play. And 6 teams are coming off on a bye week this coming week. So, good Lord, it's going to be a small amount to choose from next week. I expect a lot of movement in this. Pittsburgh Steelers, yeah, they were a half a point favorite, basically money line. They do beat the Falcons 19-16. It did go under that 41.5.
Yeah.
And
Why are there no heads there?
well, we thought Atlanta would sneak this out at home.
I was told by Mark that he was never going to pick Atlanta again.
No, see, what happened was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What had happened?
So what happened was, I said I'd pick Atlanta because they're always screwing me, so I pick them and they'll lose. Then I win.
So you
because
screw
Stevens,
Steven. Okay,
yes,
gotcha.
see, perfect. Kyle did pick the Steelers, by the way.
He did.
Another shout out to
And that was one
Steeler
that I was.
fans.
That was the one that I was actually going to. I circled, but I backed out on because I really thought Atlanta probably was going to sneak this out. They tend to do that at home.
Yeah.
yeah.
And,
Good job, Steven.
And really, Pittsburgh was just field goal kicking all day, so it wasn't like that they looked really great either. But Steelers now at 5-7.
Yeah.
All those Mike Tomlin. I was going to say his name was Tom Tomlin. Mike Tomlin coaches. People that hate him and want him gone, I'll take him at Dallas. Thank you very much.
He's a great coach. He's just dealing with the talent that he's got.
Yep. And Kenny Pickett's looking okay, but they put the harness on him instead of letting him sling it around all over the place. Right now they're doing it conservative style. So Atlanta, believe it or not, at 5-8, depending on what happens with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight, are still in the race for the NFC South. All right, Green Bay Packers at the Bears, proving that Aaron Rodgers still owns the Bears.
He does own the Bears.
Because the Bears looked like they were going to dump truck them early the way they came out, and I thought, that might be Jordan Love time. Not so fast, my friend. 28-19, so Green Bay covers that 4.5. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, only one
There's
head.
one head there because I went with the Aaron Rodgers, always owns the Bears.
Well, I thought maybe he wasn't even going to play because of his injuries.
Oh, that might have been too because he was still kind of
Yeah,
iffy, he said he was playing, so he runs that team evidently.
That old man, I can't believe he put his body back together for that game.
And
he didn't run the whole team because he let Devontae Adams go.
Oh yeah, that's right. And it did go under, or no, it went over. Yeah,
Over,
that's
yeah,
right,
it's over.
47. So I wouldn't have had that right. I didn't think either one of them were going to score a whole lot. So let's move on, to the
I don't want to.
Jacksonville-Detroit game because, there's my head again.
Yeah, I know
Now,
it.
you notice my head in a lot of these picks, but guess what? When you come to the pick six, it wasn't as good as it looked because those were the games I didn't put in there. This one I did, though.
And that's for free.
Now, that half a point I thought was, that was free.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was easy,
Wow,
too.
did Detroit look good
Jacksonville on the road just
compared to Jacksonville?
Yeah, not good.
Well, they don't play well on the
Jacksonville
road,
at
right?
home is okay. They can hang with people. And we talked about this when we picked the games Friday, Mark. They weren't playing Baltimore's defense. Not that
Right.
Detroit's a burner, but they play a lot harder. They don't let leads go like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So 40-14, the final score. 51.5 was almost done by Detroit alone. So if you're an over player, you're feeling good so far about your day.
Wow.
New York Jets and the Minnesota Vikings. We both took Minnesota here because I just didn't believe in the Mike White experience happening twice in a row, but I
Yeah.
got to give it to him. He did play good other than very first drive he threw a pick, which resulted in a field goal. So
I tell you, dude, that first half, though, the Jets were looking pretty good that first half.
they did, and then I think you were telling me, I didn't get to watch the end of that game because I was tuned into something else, but they actually had a legit shot at pulling that out at
Yeah,
the
they,
end, right?
they, had
They
the,
did.
they had the ball at the end.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Jets are going to look okay. They're probably going to stick with Matt White, and they should because above all things, they should not go back to Wilson, I don't think.
No, he's got too many distractions going on outside of playing football.
Yeah. Now, whether or not they can actually win big game, I think their next two games are at Buffalo and at home versus Miami, maybe, or something along that line. They're two big games that should be tough. So we're going to know a lot about whether, stats and playing close count or
Right.
or not. I am a little shocked that Minnesota scored 27 on that Jets defense, though. But anyway, it did go another game over.
Over.
Washington Commanders and the Giants. Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
All right. Well, we both took the Giants because we thought they'd win outright. They played 60 minutes. Then they played another 10 minutes, and still no winner. They both tied. 2020 overtime, Preston.
But we
NFC
win.
East.
A tie. Yeah. Well,
A tie is we win.
I was
We
supposed to
win.
say right. It puts us up a little bit more. So
So if anybody's talking about how maybe one of these teams could try to either get Dallas or Philadelphia in this division, not so fast.
no,
Just for our Bentley
They're still
retail
fighting for it.
fans.
Oh, yeah. What happened there?
So we had a few this morning come in. They were kind of confused on the outcome of this game. So they picked the Giants.
All right.
But being a tie, they thought they lost. Well, you got 2.5 points. So if you're playing the
Did one
points,
hell of a job.
And-
And the only thing else I got to
Even
say
if
is,
they- even
how
if
about them Cowboys?
I don't want to hear that about them Cowboys.
we had to throw that in there.
And how do you not hear that?
Because I don't even have it on over here.
You hit the play button.
I did, but not on the thing. Here.
Look at him.
Let me
Oh, it
How
was a
about
I
mistake.
can hear it again.
Now I can hear
Lord have mercy.
Oh, it was a mistake. I didn't mean to do that.
So anyway, so for those fans that did pick the Giants, don't throw away that ticket if it's on a point spread. You did have a winner, so come in and cash that if you have it. Most people think it's a push because it was a tie
Only
or
in
that they
money line.
lost. Yeah.
it. Only a money line, right?
Yeah, you can't lose if you pick the Giants. The worst you could do is push. If you
Right.
did the money line, it's a push. If you had the points, you're a winner. You win.
So let me ask you this. I know it happens in soccer, but is there a way you actually can bet without overtime in an NFL game, or does it always
No.
include overtime?
Always includes overtime.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Just checking it out. So anyway, they both get a split burger there.
Yes.
Tennessee Titans at the Eagles. Now, I was a big
Oh, yeah.
I was a
Hey,
big
now.
dumb animal, and I took Tennessee with the points.
He just wants you to know, be ready. Are you practicing those lyrics? Are you practicing?
First time I heard him.
It's
weeks
not
out.
the first time you've heard them.
I seen you out here on the bar chanting it the other day.
If I have to practice that crap, it'll be December 25th after I'm done with all my opening of the gifts, and I ate and I let it sit for 2 hours, and I need to take a big duke. Then while I'm on the pot, I will pull up the Eagles fight song and start to learn it because I did bet Nick. No point spreads involved, no matter
Nope,
how it
straight
shakes
up.
out, even if Dallas were to get points or whatever.
Straight up.
Straight up, that if Philly goes into Dallas and beats Dallas on the next podcast, which would be on the 26th, I
26th,
will
yeah.
sing the Eagles fight song on.
And you got to wear the gear, right?
Well, if somebody has gear, I'll wear the gear.
Oh, I'm sure
definitely,
we can find somebody.
I'm definitely not buying any of that crap.
Oh,
And by the way, your dream pick lost.
It did.
He thought Titans were going to win outright.
oh,
Yeah.
I gave it a shot because
there was an odds boost on that, I believe.
There was.
There probably was.
I thought there was a shot because of the way Washington beat the Eagles, which was running the ball 35 times. And I thought Derrick Henry was better than either Brian Robinson or Antonio Gibson in this case. And
They are.
not
He
only, well, he is better, but his stat line was, 10 for 19?
Yeah,
It was-
our
They
defense
just
played
brutal.
him great.
All they had to do was stop that because they got Tennessee has nothing else.
I will
You-
say,
you missed the revenge aspect of this game. I think that's where you messed up.
where was the revenge? Oh, A.J.
They
Brown?
traded A.J. Brown on
look at
draft
that!
night.
Look at that up there in the top right, NFC East standings.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
But look, real quick. A.J. Brown got traded and got paid a bunch of money by somebody that Tennessee wasn't going to do, right? I don't know how that could be a revenge game. You got paid
He did get paid.
by somebody. Now, if he wanted to stay in Tennessee and felt it as a slight, I get it. I think this game doesn't necessarily turn out with a different outcome, like somehow Tennessee beats the Eagles, but having Treylon Burks getting leveled and knocked out on their first drive when he actually caught the touchdown and scored, or maybe it was the second drive, but it was early in the game, that changed a lot because they really don't have a lot of receivers behind him. I mean, Robert Woods ain't going to scare you. Austin Hooper ain't scaring nobody in the Eagles. Treylon Burks was actually the only guy that could probably get deep on him. He gets light out right off the bat. So
Well, they haven't really used him like they should have this year anyway. I mean, they really haven't.
35-10. Here.
Wait a minute, hit that song again?
You want the song again?
Yeah, let's play the song again. Oh. Victory. There we go. Get him.
Go ahead, just practice chanting.
I mean,
Practice just at one time.
We have to keep listening to all that Cowboys talk. We
Say
can
it.
make him listen
How
to that.
about them Cowboys?
Yeah.
How about them Cowboys? Say that's all the more they got, Justin.
Man.
That's all the more they can figure out.
That December 23rd podcast is going to be a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, it will for somebody. All right. Denver Broncos at Baltimore Ravens. Not only did
Hang
it.
on a second. I gotta find the perfect emoji.
Yes.
Well,
Where is it?
Believe it or not. So Lamar Jackson gets kind of taken out of this game with an injury. They don't think it's season ending or anything. But I really thought the Broncos with that field goal had a shot to win this game, and it fell just short. Otherwise, the Broncos beat the Baltimore Ravens outright. So you see no heads there.
That was a good baseball game.
Yeah, 10-9, woefully under. Very boring to watch. Even with Lamar Jackson in, it was boring to watch. Nobody could run, nobody could pass. It was just brutal.
It's almost like both teams didn't want to play.
yeah, the Orioles beat the Rockies. Good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, good game. That's right. Cleveland Browns, this wasn't very exciting either. The defense outscored the offense in this thing 16-11.
I cannot believe I didn't have this in my picks.
I'm just happy that I picked up Cleveland's defense on the waiver wire this week on my fantasy team.
Did you?
I did. They scored 35 points.
Wow.
Oh.
So, yeah, Houston, they do Houston things. They lose
terrible.
27-14. I don't know when this Kyle Allen experiment is going to end, but I hope it ain't next week because Houston goes to Dallas.
Oh, my gosh.
Please. And
Houston's still at one win.
And by the way, just in case you're wondering, the line is already 17-17.5 on the Cowboys side.
What would it take for you to pick Houston? Point spread.
Probably 21 and over.
Only
I don't-
21?
I'm
know
not
if
even
I'd take
sure
it
that
then.
I'll do that.
I don't even want to take it then.
But they may treat it as a bye week at halftime if they're up big. They may just start putting Cooper Rush in and
Right.
other people, and then we'll get going. But anyway,
Wow.
Houston's got their eye on their next quarterback.
Deshaun
coming out of
Watson?
the draft, I think. No, I think
initial thought about Deshaun Watson? He looked like death warmed over.
You got something with this John thing today.
I do.
he's,
Tom Tomlin, John Johnson, Don.
I mean, you don't miss that much time and just come right back in as crisp as you used to be.
Yeah.
I think give him a couple weeks, as long as he can stay out of the media and out of the news and the protests and everything else, he'll get back to some form. It's not going to be his old form, I don't think, but he's definitely going to be better than half the starting quarterbacks.
How many more
in the
games
NFL.
they got left?
They will have 5 more.
5, yeah.
So they could almost get the same record as Nebraska.
Almost. Stick around and see. Houston versus Nebraska on Thursday Night Football. Cleveland
Houston.
Browns at 5-7, still not out of it, so they better hurry up. In a hurry.
Now,
All right.
If Lamar Jackson's out for a while, they got a chance to get back in.
Oh,
quick.
yeah, they do, especially. Although the Bengals are looking good. We'll get to them in a second. Seattle at the Rams. WTF. Rams had the lead to the end, and then they got sniped at the end with a Geno Smith pass to DK Metcalf. That did not help my fantasy world, but it did help my daily fantasy team score. A little dollarage there. 27-23. Seattle was over a touchdown favorite. They were playing against Wolford and nobody.
That's 2 times I've picked Seattle.
I just picked the Rams because I thought this game was going to stay close from a defense perspective, but I didn't think 50 points were going to get scored.
No.
So I got lucky in a way. I didn't know that Rams were going to be able to score any points, to be honest.
One head.
Yep, one head. Seattle, now they're looking for more life. They lost the lead to the 49ers, but the 49ers have some problems coming up, and that's the next game. Miami Dolphins. They made it good for about 3.5 quarters or so, 3 quarters, and then it just got away from them. Turnover, pick 6 return, 33-17 here. San Fran easily covers the 3.5. As it all said and done, it goes over 46.5. But they lose Garoppolo for the year, which you were not a big fan of anyway.
No, that's
even
fine.
though your head's on that side like you loved them.
Well, it's because they're better than Miami because that quarterback has trouble staying healthy.
Yeah.
Well, obviously they both do.
Well,
They
that's
both
all right. I think that his replacement's even better.
Brock Purdy.
Yep. Sure is going to be Purdy out there in the 49er land.
Wasn't he the last
Yeah.
draft pick this year
Yeah.
or whatever it was?
And he's still better than Jimmy.
From Iowa State.
Iowa State?
He came from Iowa State. Now, as a Hawkeye fan and somebody who watches Iowa State kind of from the side, he was a decent quarterback for him, to be honest, because their teams got outmatched a lot in Big 12 games, and he actually kept them around and beat Oklahoma one time in Norman, Oklahoma, when they were ranked. Brock Purdy was the guy that drafted that comeback and win. So he's got some skill set. I just don't know the more you go and the NFL folks really start getting tape on what he does and doesn't do, if it becomes ugly quick.
Who they play next week, do you know?
Who, the 49ers or the Dolphins?
The 49ers. I could care less about the Dolphins.
No, I do not know. Oh, yeah. Well, I should know, but let me see if I'll get him down here. Because
college skill set and NFL skill set are a lot different.
49ers say they play the Buccaneers at home, and they're 3-point favorites still, despite Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Right now being
no despite.
Well, that's because it's Tampa Bay.
It's no despite. It's because Garoppolo's not in.
So you would say that Tom Brady at his point is worse than Brock Purdy?
I don't know what's wrong with Tampa Bay this year. With the talent they have, they should not be
Losing.
leading the division. What, with 5 and
they suck. 5 and 6 right now.
5 and 6, yeah.
Have a shot to be 5 and 7 because for whatever reason New Orleans has their number. We'll see if that happens tonight. But woof. All right. Anyway, Raiders. They took care of the Chargers. Chargers failed twice at the end. They had
where are you at? You missed them?
I missed one, yep.
You didn't even put them in?
I'm sorry. The Chiefs. My bad. I skipped over one.
What? I'm like, where?
Yeah, the Chiefs and the Bengals. All right.
It was a good game.
Good game.
Yeah.
And we expected it to be. Oh, look where that's. Yeah, that's the.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow has the anti-venom to Patrick Mahomes. I don't know what it is.
3-0 this year.
3-0, yeah.
This year.
He can outsling him. Yeah, you're right. Twice last year and once this year so far.
Yeah, but it's all been in 2022.
Yep. No, I know. That's why I said it's been crazy so far on the Bengals how good they play against the Chiefs, where everybody else seems to struggle to stop their offense.
Right.
That Chiefs are not going to win a Super Bowl playing like they are this year. Not just against Cincy.
Well, they're definitely not a juggernaut team. That'll give you. I mean, even at 9-2, I didn't think that. They struggled to beat the Rams at home with no quarterback. They struggled to beat Tennessee at home with no quarterback.
Right.
So I don't know what that is other than they don't have a really Tyreek Hill type deep threat that makes the defense play 20 yards off the ball.
And they can't stop the run?
Well, that's a problem
that's
too.
true.
Yeah, that's a problem too. And that was the case last year too. It wasn't just this year.
Right. Well, you spend all that money on the offensive side, it's going to be tough to spend any on the defensive side.
All I know is for you over players, he lost by a half point and went under. How about that? 51 to 51.5.
Yeah, I think they've started to figure out Kansas City now because you've got to run the ball to slow the game down.
Yeah.
Not even because their run defense is bad, but you've got to run the ball to slow the game down and keep them from scoring 40 points a game.
Yeah.
And I think the teams that are doing that are keeping the game close to give them a chance to win at the end like that.
And they minimize turnovers and all that stuff. All the stuff you need to do to keep a potent offense off the field, basically.
Well, congratulations on that pick.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Here's your Raiders.
Yeah, here's the Raiders. I didn't know what to make of them. I thought the
Neither
Chargers
did I.
were
Pick
more
this game.
desperate. I thought Herbert really had the anti-venom for the Raiders. I guess not. 20 to 27. They had the ball twice late to try to tie this up and just couldn't get anywhere. 50.5. It went under, and Vegas covers that 1.5. So, I think Vegas. I think there was a line that they hadn't had a win at home all year. Like they lost all their home games. Maybe not. Maybe they won one home game.
Won one. Yeah, I think they're 2 and 5 at home or whatever it is.
What's their record now? Raiders.
Raiders are now 5-7.
5-7.
So they're definitely not going to catch the Chiefs at this rate, but they're forward back with 5 to go, and they lost the first meeting against the Chiefs. And the Chargers better hurry up, too, because the AFC, I'm going to guess the AFC is going to take a 11-6 record at the bottom end to get in, maybe 10-7. Depends how far the Jets and them all beat up on each other.
It's really the East, because right now I still think the East is all in, right?
For the AFC East? Yeah.
I believe the AFC East has all the playoff spots taken for the wild cards.
But Miami went from like the 2nd seed to the 6th seed or something with their loss.
Yeah.
And how everything else turned out. So, for the week. That's crazy. This is crazy, too. There's the Cowboys. Go ahead. Advance it.
Oh, God. I got to take a break real quick. No,
Yeah. They were up by 8, 21 to 13 going in a half, and then the wheels just came off. For the Colts, turnovers got returned for touchdowns and short fields and all that good stuff. So that's how that 54-19 score came to be. Easily covering that 10.5, and Dallas took care of the over by themselves.
Yeah, go ahead. Play your song, do your yell.
First time ever that score in the NFL happened, 54-19. That's your obscure fact, which I didn't know because I didn't think that was such a weird score.
Oh,
19?
boy.
Well, no, 19 is a field goal or a touchdown and 4 field goals.
All right, so
I've seen that plenty of times.
While you're on this, let me ask you.
54 might
You
be a
don't
little
think
weird.
your secondary's been exposed now that you have another
Yes.
injury back there?
Yes, but let me tell you.
Oh, tell me, sir.
That Anthony Brown character that likes to get defensive pass interferences a lot and just blown coverages, just about any Joe off the street, in my opinion, can step in his shoes. They may
my
not have the
gosh.
experience of seeing certain things, but if you just plain old getting beat, they pick on him all the damn time.
Right.
Trayvon Diggs is going to be him. He tries to bait you into throws and guess where he's going so he can get the highlight pick six instead of just covering sometimes. So he got blown up yesterday early, and then he locked on from there on out. I think somebody told him, like, hey, quit trying to anticipate where the ball's going, just cover a guy.
Do you agree with Chris Collinsworth on the commentating that they should have been trying to do more deep balls? That the Colts have been trying to do more
Yes.
deep balls?
Well, yes, but they needed to do it early in the game because when you're doing it from the shotgun and they know you have to pass, then it don't
Yeah.
work as good. But
Right.
early on, yeah, they should have because they were running the ball decent enough to keep Dallas honest.
Yeah.
And if they were picking on Anthony Brown or whoever the other corner that came in later, they could have got him probably a few different times. And Matt Ryan actually threw some bad balls
A
yesterday.
lot of bad balls.
I mean, guys were open on out routes, and he just underthrew it or threw it too far inside, and he's not looking great. Now, what do you do if you're the Colts? You're out of it. I know mathematically they're not, but 4-8-1, you're out of it, even if you run the table. So Matt Ryan's junk. I
Yeah.
think Sam Ellinger is not going to be very good, but if you drafted him and want to see him for another 5 games in the season,
put him in the game.
or Nick Foles, who's been paid to be a backup, and he's not got the backup yet. He was second on the depth chart, then went to third on the depth
You're
chart.
familiar with him.
I know exactly who he is.
So what do you think?
I mean, it depends. Like I said, if you want to figure out where your future is going to go, put Ellinger in the game and see what he can do. It's not going to hurt anything for you to lose a game. But
That's right.
I think that Ryan needs to move on. He's done. I don't think he's going to play anymore after this year anyway. So just let him go. I mean, it's not helping your team.
Is this his second year of his 2-year contract, or this is his first year?
First.
It's first, yeah. But I mean, look at the way he's throwing the ball.
I don't know what kind of dead cap he'd hit, which makes me wonder. To me,
Can't be much.
I agree in the Ellinger thing, I guess, for a while. But I saw in those 2 games he did play,
It didn't look great.
he didn't great at all. I mean, Kenny Pickett looked better than that. Malik Willis, maybe that's about the same. To me, Malik throws a better ball.
Yeah.
And then we haven't seen Desmond Ritter yet. So as long, I guess, as Atlanta's still
They're still,
mathematically alive,
they're still in the playoff.
probably
hunt.
won't see
They can't.
Desmond Ritter at all. All right,
Now,
tonight's game.
Wait a minute. I got a question for you.
All right.
You watched the game last night.
Yes. All of it.
Was it just me, or was Dak throwing bad balls?
He's always good for 2 picks.
He was throwing the balls, especially right there in the second quarter. It just looked like he was throwing straight at Indianapolis's defense.
So his first interception, he expected Gallup to go out on the out route. Gallup slipped a little bit, and then he did not fight for the ball. He just basically watched Stephon Gilmore intercept the ball, and he's 3 feet away from him. And he saw the ball coming. It wasn't like he looked around and all of a sudden he didn't think the ball was coming. He knew the ball was coming. And his receivers, CeeDee Lamb included, God bless his heart, they do not help their quarterback out when he throws a bad angle on a ball. They just continue to run a route or flatten a route when they should cut it harder, and then they watch a guy intercept it and watch him run the other way like, what are you doing? Now, that's the first one. I would not blame Dak on the first one because he looked like, dude, first of all, I realized you slipped, but you're 3 feet away from him. At least try to tackle his ass.
Right.
Now, the second one was bad.
Bad. It was bad.
That shouldn't have even been thrown, in my opinion. I don't know what his excuse was or if he even gave one. I'm sure he did that was a bad throw by me. Or, he usually takes the blame for stuff, which is great. And then he threw some pretty nice balls yesterday, too. But the worst part is he throws them at the bad times. It's not that he just throws them. He just throws them at the bad moments in time.
Still think that should be a bet.
What's that?
A prop bet. Over-under on those 2 interceptions.
Well, you pushed, I think, right?
He
Or
would
did
have.
he only have the one? No,
No, he had 2.
he had 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had 2.
I was just curious from a Cowboy fan,
I'm
what
not.
you thought about it, because if he makes those throws in bigger games, you don't win.
Like against the Eagles.
I mean, and we have a good secondary. He can throw a couple of those to us, we'd be happy with it.
Yeah, and he probably will.
But our downfield threat is a lot better than the Colts is. So
Yeah.
Yes. You got 2 of them.
yeah,
Real quick before we get off this game, just curious, Odell Beckham.
Oh, yeah. Is that going to draw some drama to your team?
I think he's supposed to meet with him today or tomorrow.
Today.
And then he's got all 3 teams that he said he was going to meet out of the way. Your gut, Preston, I know Philly ain't part of this, but Giants, Bills, Cowboys. Where do you think he goes?
To the Cowboys.
Dang.
I know. I think Jerry will pay him, and I don't really think that the Giants are not Super Bowl contenders, so I think he's going to work his way out of that one. Why would he go back there? He's won a ring. That's what he does every time. He's just trying to find a ring, trying to find a spot he can land.
Yeah.
So the Bills and the Cowboys got to be the top 2 spots for him, and I just feel like Jerry Jones will pay him trying to make something happen right now.
So if you're Odell Beckham, which one do you pick, though? Because you got Josh Allen versus Dak.
He wants a multi-year contract.
Multi-year contract. Right. Where would you go long 3 years? Say it might be a 4-year deal, but he probably only realizes 3 of it. Where would you go if you were him?
Cowboys.
You would go Cowboys?
Only because I feel like just watching the way he reacts when he doesn't get the ball a whole lot. If he goes to Buffalo, Stephon Diggs is still the number 1 receiver, clear-cut number 1 receiver, and he's going to get the targets up there. So I think that Odell Beckham thinks that he may be able to fight CeeDee Lamb for that share of the catches, but I know he can beat Gallup.
Yeah.
And I just feel like in his mind he will be better able to show off and get catches he needs
in Dallas
than he will in Buffalo.
Gosh. I think he'd be better off in Buffalo, but he'll probably go to Dallas.
If he wants to try to win the Super Bowl, he's probably got a better shot in Buffalo. But I think that for his personal ego, he will go to Dallas.
And the reason I think he would be better off in Buffalo because you have a quarterback that can actually throw the ball that far. And in Dallas, that's a struggle for him, accurately.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but AFC is a tougher road. You got to go through the Bengals, the Chiefs every year. And the NFC, I mean, there's really good teams. Philly, I would say, is one of them. Minnesota, I would not say is one of them.
Well, I agree with Preston that if it's going to come down to money, because that's what Odell's doing. It's coming down to money.
And you think so? Or do you think it's just he's not going to get a $25 million a year deal?
It's money, and either one of those teams have a shot
at it.
You
know that? I mean, look at the deals they gave Zeke and Dak Prescott.
Well, that's how I know it can't be that because they don't have that kind of room.
Right. I just...
Unless somehow Odell's okay with it all being deferred to year 3 and 4 where they, in theory, have room, but I don't know if he's okay with that. I don't know. We'll see. To me, Dallas is playing good enough without him, and James Washington supposedly comes back in 2 weeks, which I'm not saying he's Odell Beckham at any stretch, but they're scoring the most points in the league right now without him. I don't know if he's got any more drama associated with him anymore like he used to back in the day when he was younger.
Yeah, they say he doesn't, but
I just worry about chemistry.
I think you've really got to watch what the contract reads and where the guaranteed money is because, honestly, this could be another situation with him getting hurt every year is the same as Michael Thomas down in New Orleans. I mean, all he's doing is going in and I'll be back, get paid, and never show back up. So, I mean, if Odell Beckham's coming off a big injury, he comes in somewhere, gets dinged up. Now he's just sitting on your salary, taking all this money that he's wanting and not playing any games. So there's going to have to be something in there where he's going to have to play a certain amount.
Look at that screen right there to your top right. Oh, yeah.
Yes. Thanks, Michael Irvin. All right. So anyway, enough with that one. New Orleans at Tampa Bay tonight is your Monday night game. Tampa Bay still a 3.5-point favorite. Last I checked, the line over under 40.5, so stayed stable pretty much for the last week here. Mark and I both had our head picks over on the Tampa Bay side because just New Orleans has not looked great in the last 3 weeks, like any phase. I know. Yeah. I don't know if they're quite there, but they're getting there.
Oh, we'll see tonight.
So, Preston, we haven't asked you about this game. Where are you leaning on both sides of that equation, the over-under and the spread?
I've got to go with Tampa Bay. New Orleans, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they're not utilizing Taysom Hill more because when they were doing that early in the year, they actually looked pretty good. And over the last few games, he gets a carry here, a carry there. They're not really putting him in at quarterback. And they're kind of stuck. But, I mean, last week Kamara didn't look good.
No.
It was really tough. So I think Tampa Bay's defense will step up at home. I think they'll win the game. And I think, as much as I see the 40.5 and I want to go over, I don't think it gets there. I think that, New Orleans may only score 10 points, and that'll put us way under because
And
21-10 maybe.
Yeah,
I'll go with that.
I'm trying to remember the cornerback that's coming back for Saints. It seems to have Mike Evans' number every year, like locks him down. Who's the big cornerback for the Saints that don't know?
I don't pay that much attention.
It's probably Willy Wonka.
It's probably John
Johnson.
John Wonka.
I can't remember his damn name now.
John Johns.
But he seems to have Mike Evans' number every year. He's been the only guy that they showed a stat with Mike Evans against every other corner in the league versus this guy that I can't remember, and it's night and day on what happens there. I think he's in his mind.
Well,
remember, they both got ejected in the game last year when they started throwing punches on the sideline
right.
out on the field.
Is it Lattimore?
There you go,
his name?
Marshawn Lattimore.
Lattimore.
There you go. Thanks. We know we had you on for a reason.
Yeah, I didn't think about it for a second.
America.
You know who's had Tom Brady's number? Who's had Evans' number this year? Tom
Not
Brady.
Gazelle.
Tom Brady's been throwing terrible to him. I don't know.
Was that too soon? Sorry.
No, he's been playing a lot better since the divorce finalized.
There you go.
So they may win tonight.
All right, Buccaneers got 58% of the spread money going on tonight, and 58% of the money says over. So, Preston, where you were leaning is where America's betting, at least majority-wise. We'll see. All right, NFL game on Thursday. The Raiders and the Rams.
We're walking right into that. All right.
Oh, my God.
So,
welcome back to Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, and I guess this is the Los Angeles Rams because we already know they're going to have an L.
That's right.
We don't
Take it.
We don't need to have the L. They take care of the L themselves every week. Oh man, that was hilarious.
You got a sheet on this?
I do.
Okay.
Minus 5.5 is the Raiders' favorite right now, and the over/under 44.5. So that's your current line there, Preston.
Nah, give me the Raiders. The Rams. Is Stafford coming back?
No, he's out the rest of the year.
Yeah, so give me the Raiders. And what, have the Raiders won the last 3 games? I mean, they're playing well.
4, I think, now.
I know they won the last 3. Just give the ball to Josh Jacobs. Let him go.
Yeah, so the Raiders have 87% of the money on that spread line, and 79% says it goes over. Mark, your initial thoughts?
I'm going to go with the Raiders. I think they're playing better, but I don't think it takes a whole lot to beat the Los Angeles Rams.
So, Angus. It's not Wagyu, it's Angus beef. So I'm trying to think the guy that plays corner for the Rams now.
John
Johnson. He's going to shadow Devontae Adams all day. Jalen Ramsey. There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know if that mutes that or not very much, because that to me makes this game a little closer than I feel comfortable with. But
Yeah, but isn't Aaron Donald out?
Aaron Donald's out.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
you're not going to have a rush on
Seattle
front
wasn't
line.
running very well against him, even despite that fact.
Well, I mean, okay, take Devontae Adams out of the game with Jalen Ramsey and just hand the ball to Josh Jacobs or sling a few screen passes out of the backfield. There's nobody up front that's going to stop him.
Yeah.
And he's, 5-10 yards here, 5 or 10 yards there, and they just march right down the field and score.
So everybody's on the Raiders.
You taking the Raiders?
I mean, they were a few plays away early in the year from having
He's
a lot
thinking.
different record right now.
He wants to really go with the Rams. Take them. Take the
Well,
Rams.
I do, only because of the point spread there.
Yeah.
I
Go ahead, take
think
'em.
I will.
All right. There you go.
Not
And-
to win outright, but I
Write
think
it down.
I
Write
think
it down.
yeah,
5.5.
Write it down because I don't have my sheet.
Write it down.
I don't want you
All right,
crying
so-
tomorrow.
Well, it's not like this won't be on YouTube to look at, but all right. So Ted and Bill want Raiders, and I'll take the Rams over under. I actually.
I go under.
I like this to go under 44.5.
Same.
Even though America likes over.
Give me the over.
All right.
All right, so Preston's got the over.
Preston's taking America's way.
Well, I figure the Raiders will score 35 themselves, so.
All right.
All right.
So there's all the NFL. Do you want to do the pick six thing before we roll?
Yeah,
Or
let's
put
do
that
the
to
pick
end?
6 thing. Go ahead and take that.
All right.
There
so
you go.
Let's see how we did against Kyle, the high riser on our Friday show, coming to you from an undisclosed location in Tennessee, he said.
He's probably
Yeah.
back home by now.
He probably is. I'm trying to figure out where I should put this.
He'll be at home in Buffalo, and then rumor is a bunch of folks will be down in Miami doing Miami things.
Well, I think that's
Middle of
about
the week.
right.
About right?
I think
Can
so.
we get it
Put it
set
up.
up where we can go do the show live from Miami one time?
We're trying. All right.
That's good.
So there was Kyle's picks.
Impressive today.
Yeah, my goodness. So
Sunday.
he ended up picking the Steelers. He picked the Packers. He picked the Vikings. He picked the Giants. He picked the Eagles.
Yeah, that was a good bet.
And then his lock.
No.
Oh, not
the
his
Eagles
lock.
was.
The Eagles was his lock.
That's why I
That's
said
why it
good
says
bet.
2 points.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, jeez.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's now tied
Says-
for the highest score ever on the pick
It says
six.
it right there. It says Kyle 6 points.
I know.
I
I'm
mean,
just saying that ties the high.
was-
Ties a high.
Nobody has 7.
Almost had it.
Yeah.
But
Not gonna be able to do it.
did not go 0-4. All right. What do you want to throw up next?
That was pretty impressive. We'll go ahead and throw mine up since it's horrible.
All right. I'll get that button ready.
2 points.
Whoops, that ain't it.
Hey,
Hold on a
the
second.
beautiful bean footage.
Great.
Did you get
You
2
know,
points again,
got
Mark?
to.
Did you revert to your old ways?
I reverted to my older ways, but I
Yeah.
got more than 2.
Oh.
Please hold for our station identification because our network is down.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
got to
okay.
accept the T's and C's.
Yeah.
Say.
Come on.
You can get in there.
It was just working.
It's just working, Paul. There
Yeah.
you go. As he gets it in there. But yeah, he not his old ways where he got 2, but his old ways where he gets 3.
It wasn't
Oh,
as
okay.
impressive, right? It wasn't as impressive what I've been doing.
There was a time that you could just pick against Mark and get 5 every week.
That's right.
Who do you like? Oh, I'll take the other side. Yep. You ready?
It's ready. I'm just going to slide it over here.
Yeah. Real time.
Yeah. Slide it away from me. Keep your picks.
A took Jacksonville.
Yeah.
He did take the Vikings.
Yes.
He did take the Eagles.
Good pick.
Yeah, thank you.
He did take the Ravens. He did take the Chiefs. That was his.
That was my lock.
Oh.
And then he took the Cowboys. Very good pick on that Cowboys, Mark.
3 points.
3 points. So that's his old norm, not his old norm. His old norm was 2.
Yeah, that wasn't too good.
Now, I don't have a whole lot of room to trash talk.
I'll leave it
I
there.
did hit my lock, so that helps me out. I got 5, so Kyle beat both of us, which is the second time that this has happened. First by a high riser, though. The first one, we called him the not-so-average Joe.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so I had the Lions. Yeah, I took the Titans. Go ahead, Preston. Bad pick.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I took the Browns. Miami, you really let me down. I didn't know if you're going to win, but I think you're going to get blown out. Chargers. That should be an L2. Chargers lost 27-20.
Oh, man. That
So
means
I
you're...
actually have 4 points. And then, I told on myself. And the Cowboys was my lock. That is correct.
well, your Titans pick was horrible.
My Titans pick was horrible, as it turned out.
I wanted to wait till the end.
It looked good for about a quarter and a half. I thought we might get in there, but
Come on now.
not so much.
A.J.
So-
Brown decided, I'm just going to go
You
score.
did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
All right, go ahead and throw up the beautiful bean footage. All right, so OC and now Kyle.
Oh.
Tied for the top.
Tied to the top for the 6. Preston, right behind after
I'm right
about
there.
3 attempts. He got 5 out of the 3
That's
attempts.
'cause you
5
didn't
was
count
his
my second
highest
attempt,
score.
sir.
Yeah, that's because it wasn't on the show. And Nick ended with 5 as well. And Daniel, 5. So we have a lot of 5s, a couple of 6s in this group.
All
for the
these
average
free
Joes and High
picks.
Risers. All these free picks. And a pick 6 leaderboard.
So,
you got to adjust that?
yeah.
So I'm 50 and a
You're
half.
50 and a half. Yep.
All right, so I'm 50 and a half for the season. Moneyline Mark is at the 39. The Joes and the High Risers have a battle going. And hopefully we'll have one from each side at least coming up on Friday's show.
I don't
See
know who
what
the
happens.
Joe's going to be.
I might have an idea.
All right.
Ezel says he wants to be on the show.
All right.
But I couldn't remember if we actually had anybody this week.
We do not. But
All right.
I'm not sure how you want to work that, the camera shots.
Yeah, me either. So stay tuned.
All right.
All right. So there
That's a
we have.
discussion
There's
for a
your
later
pick
date.
6. All right. You guys ready to roll through some basketball real quick for tonight?
Yeah, you got the
Oh,
stats
my God.
taken off. Let me see if I can get back into where we need to be.
All right, we got 2 top 25 college action games going today. That's it. So it's pretty light in the top 25 anyway.
This
And then we
basketball's
got
been
8
brutal.
basketball NBA games tonight real quick. Are you ready to roll?
No.
You're trying to get to the
There you go.
Gonzaga. Here we go.
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
So Kent State travels to Gonzaga here. Gonzaga losing some games early because they're playing people for a change. So I think that actually helps them, but how they're still ranked 14th, I'm not 100% sure. Gonzaga 15.5-point favorites there at home against Kent State, 152.5. Preston.
Well, they do have less losses than North Carolina, which was number 1. So.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, Bobby, shot fired.
Well. They don't look good, and they've cost me money, so
Yeah, there you
I
go.
wanted to shoot.
You wanted to shoot.
I'll take Gonzaga. I don't know anything about Kent State. I mean, they're 6-2, but
Yeah.
usually those teams, those 6 wins are probably against super small schools that have players like us 3 and those 2 guys right over there. So,
And those 2 guys over there.
so I'll take Gonzaga playing at home. It's a tough place to play up there, and
Yeah, I think Gonzaga 2, 15.5. I'll take him.
I like the under though. I don't like that 152. That's high, especially when they're playing a team that doesn't score a whole lot of points.
Yeah, I'm going to take it too. 15.5. They should do that at home. They're due to put a stomping on somebody. And the over under. That's actually a good line because Gonzaga's averaging 78 and Kent State's averaging 75. So you think those 2 together would put it just over at 153.
Yeah, but they're averaging 75 against teams that aren't Gonzaga.
And by the same time, Gonzaga is playing better teams than there.
Right.
So give me over. I'll go over.
All right.
Troy, not the guy, but the team. 6-3 on the year, going to San Diego State. 6-2. San Diego State. This is a popular number, 15.5. Over under a little lower though at 137.5. Preston, Kent State, or those pesky San Diego State.
Well, if this Troy versus San Diego State was a bowl game, I'd take Troy plus the 15.5. But since it's basketball, I'm gonna take the speed. San Diego State is fast.
So just
those
to
guys fast up and down.
Since we are called the Odds Brothers, 4-2 against the spread so far for Troy. 2-4-1 for San Diego this season so far. The predicted score is actually 70-70 is what they're saying here. So they're actually saying that Troy should cover this pretty easily. Over-under, there's no data on telling you who the over-under is, but people are still taking San Diego State despite the fact.
I'm going Troy. Give me those points.
You're taking Troy? Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to, too. San Diego State just doesn't impress me enough to say they're going to dump truck somebody. They do win at home, though.
Yeah.
And I like the over in that one, too.
All right.
I don't see much defense there. Real quick, because I know you guys are just going, well, you didn't do the same thing for Gonzaga, Pa. With the spread, they expect Kent State to be there. They're 7-0 against the spread. Gonzaga's 2-6 so far in 8 games. 61%, though, are taking Gonzaga minus the points.
Did you hear that? You didn't hear that?
No. What was it?
You didn't hear it?
I didn't hear it.
Was it
For a
Shane
third time.
talking?
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Oh, Lordy. All right, let's get to the NBA real quick. Flip the page, they say. Charlotte
That's
Hornets.
right.
They're hosting the Clippers. Clippers 13-11 on the year, 4.5-point favorites on the road, 216.5. Right now, Clippers are 90% of the money is bet on them.
Why's the
Are
score?
we going to make it 90.1?
Yes, 90.1.
Yes.
I'll take the Clippers, and I like the over a lot.
And you like the over a lot. Mark?
I'll take the Clippers. I'll go under.
I'll go Clippers and over. So Clippers are now at 90.3% of America's money on them.
Those picks are for free. Thank you.
And the over is going to get there.
Unless you're Mark, and then they say under. All right, Milwaukee Bucks, 16-6 on the year, going to Orlando. They suck, but they do have a lot of scoring power on them, just no defense. Milwaukee 9.5-point road favorites here, 225.5 over under. Preston.
I like Milwaukee to win the game, but I think Orlando keeps it close. Playing at home, they can score. Yeah, they can score. I like the over 225 as well, but they can score, and I think that down the stretch, they'll keep it single digits. So I'll take Orlando at home.
I'm going the Bucks, and I go under.
92% of the money's on the Bucks minus that 9.5, and it's trending under with 61% on the under so
That's
far.
right. Come on, America.
Orlando can score. I like the over, and I like Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee plays a little better defense than Orlando's used to.
That may be the first time we've all three had something different.
Usually out of all of them, yeah. Oklahoma City Thunder against the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks are hosting and 6.5-point favorites here. Over-under is the highest of the day. Well, second highest, 234.5 here, Preston. Trae Young has a little bit of a shoulder problem, but evidently they're saying that's not going to be an issue.
Well, it'll be an issue as far as the scoring goes, but I still think Atlanta at home is going to win. I'll think they'll cover, so I'll take Atlanta at home, but I do like the under. I think the over-under is too high.
I think Atlanta wins but doesn't cover, so I'm going to go with Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I'm with Mark. I'll take the 6.5. Oklahoma City plays everybody pretty damn tough. A lot of young guys on that team that can hang out there. Atlanta's not gotten in their groove this year. Trey Young or bust, basically. So, and the over-under right now is trending to the underside. 66% of America saying Oklahoma City in the points. So,
All right.
Mark, remember, those picks are free.
He's right. Come on, America.
And usually an over that high doesn't get there with these two teams in particular, unless they both get hot. So I'm going to go under. I'm going to trend under on that one. Boston Celtics at the Toronto Raptors, 19-5, the best record in the association. Raptors are tough at home, and somehow they are 1.5-point favorites due to that fact. I can't find anybody sitting out on Boston. I've been trying to look to see if one of the Tatum or Brown was sitting out or whatever, but doesn't show like that's going to be the case. 226.5, Preston. What do you like there?
I think they've only got Toronto favored because they're having to go to Canada to play, but I don't see any reason that Boston shouldn't win the game outright. So give me Boston on the money line or with the 1.5 points, however this game works.
Yeah, yeah, we can do point spreads here, Tiger.
Yeah, if we're going to go,
So I'll take Boston and I'll take the under 226.5.
All right, Mark.
Yeah, I'm going Boston. You're going to give me points? Definitely.
Yeah, best team in the league in scoring. I'm just looking real quick to see.
And that's 226, and I'll go under.
You'll go under that game?
Yeah.
Let me just make sure.
Is the official from Toronto? Maybe that's what's.
They do play tough at home. I will get this, but usually you would still say at that Boston would be maybe a 3-point favorite or something along that line.
You need some filler while you're looking that up?
No, they're all good.
Oh, because I could fill some airtime.
Not with the Eagles song. Hold up. Give me the Celtics as well. I'll take the 1.5. And the over-under, I'm going to go under that one. I think it's going to be more defensive-oriented than they think.
Look, Shane on the same team.
Well, that's all three of
The
us.
76ers are on the road to the Rockets. That would be the Stephen Thorne-led Houston Rockets. Philadelphia 7.5-point road favorites here, 221.5, Preston.
Stephen Thorne's playing tonight?
He might as well.
Rockets.
They can take anybody.
I'm going to take Houston.
What?
I am. I'm going to take Houston. Give me the 7.5 points. I'll take Houston at home.
All right.
All right.
I just, the 76ers, depends on which team shows up. I mean, some nights they show up and they look so great. And then I've seen games the last couple of weeks that they just come out and they look like the Rockets. So I think playing at home, you're going to give me all those points. I'll take them.
Mark?
Now I'm going to go 76ers because those aren't enough points for you to win.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go over on that.
All right, America says 91% of the money is going to lay the points with the the 76ers, or whoever. Phillies probably beat the Rockets too. And the over is where it's trending, and that's exactly where my mind's at because Houston don't play any defense. So I'm going to go over, and I'm going to take the 76ers as well. By the way, early on, just interesting, 60% of America's taking Boston in the points, and they're trending under in that game.
Oh.
Miami Heat, rather, at the Memphis Grizzlies. Our hometown Grizzlies here are favored by just a 1.5.
The Grizzlies.
223.5 there, Preston.
Take it all. Take the Memphis. Take the over. Go to the Forum and watch the game. It's going to be a good game. But I think the Grizzlies will probably end up winning 6 to 10 points, and I think it sails over.
Sails over.
The best thing about this game is you can be right over there with your Betly app and make the bet while the game's going on.
Right, in the game.
Right, just sit right there on that Tennessee app and just make your bets. In-game play. Anything you need to do, because I agree with Preston. Grizzlies and over.
Meet the company man, Mark. Moneyline Pengraph. I do. Memphis at home's tough. They're tough anywhere, but especially at home. And they're only a 1.5. So give me Memphis. I like the under here, though. Shaw playing?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure that was the case because I was trying to figure out why only a 1.5 against the Heat. I mean, it isn't like Miami's turned it up. I know Butler came back, right? But in any case, just making sure. Here's the next one. Phoenix Suns, 16-7 against the Mavericks. They're 500 ball right now. And Dallas is 3.5-point home favorites here, 221.5, Preston.
I don't understand why Dallas is struggling so bad. Like, I watched them, and they just seem like they should be winning games that they just give away at the end.
They do. They've given away 4 games this season when leading with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, I don't understand why they can't close the game out.
I understand.
I do, too.
Well, give me Phoenix. I'll take the points and take Phoenix playing at Dallas. I think Phoenix can close games out, and I think Dallas is struggling with it. And 221, what's that? 112, 110. Give me the over. I'll take the over.
Over?
All right, over.
I'm going Phoenix, but I'm going to go with the under.
I'm going Phoenix and over. Dallas, this is the kryptonite team for them. I know everybody likes to go back to that 40-point ass whooping that they laid on them in the semifinals of the Western Conference there last year, but that was all luck. They were just draining shots.
Right.
And they are capable of doing that on any given night, but they take 53-pointers a game. So Dallas could easily cover this, but for some reason Phoenix has that antidote against Mavericks home, way, everywhere else. And I like the over just because Dallas will not play defense. They just refuse to play defense.
And if they're making shots, they're three-pointers. That's the whole thing. I mean,
exactly. Sorry, but as Mark says, bet with your head, not with your heart.
No.
And that's just what I did.
Bet with your heart.
For the book.
bet for your heart if you're standing over at the window.
That's right.
Last game on the NBA slate for Monday night. Indiana Pacers are on the road to the Golden State Warriors. Golden State's favored by 10.5. That's a lot of points. 237.5. Preston, Golden State's been kind of the dookie ball lately.
They have, but they play well at home. They can't win on the road at all, but they play well at home. And I think Indiana's just opposite. They don't play very well on the road. So I think the 10.5 is doable, especially if Curry gets hot. So give me Golden State at home. 237.5. Jeez, that's a lot of points. I'll take the under. Give me that.
Okay.
I'm going to go Pacers. I think Golden State wins, but that's a lot of points. I don't think they can cover all that. I'm going under.
Yeah, Phoenix, by the way, was 74% of the money and is trending over. Here in this game, Golden State's getting 60% of the money, so 40%. It's still pretty decent on Indiana. I'm going to take the points, 10.5. Hope there's some garbage stuff near the end, and I like the under, too, because I just don't think Indiana –
Yeah, I don't think
if Indiana has a shot to stay within that, they're keeping it low scoring. They can't keep up with them scoring the three ball or whatever, going up and down the court. Is that good? That's
good.
The last game I got on the
Sweet.
agenda.
Well, I don't have anything extra.
You
There's
got no
Nebraska
extra?
playing.
Now, keep in mind, we do have a Monday night promo for Monday Night Football. You want to bet tonight on the app? Sign up an account for both the Arkansas and
Not that
Tennessee
one.
account. Not that one.
That one right there.
That one. So tell them about them, Mike.
So you have a 35% Monday Night Football profit boost. So make your pre-match wager. And what do we got to bet? You get maximum $50?
Yeah.
You got the wrong game on it.
Yeah, it's the wrong game, but hell.
That's all right.
Just
It's the
making
same,
sure
same promo.
You can't bet that game.
No, I can't bet that game. Same promo.
Yeah, max $50.
Max $50. Odds got to be minus 250 or greater.
Yep.
And they'll give you a 35% Monday Night Football profit boost. Make sure you check your app for all the details.
Yes. So there you go for that.
Yeah, I didn't update the graphics for that one. I didn't even know I still had it.
No worries.
That's all
I just
right.
want to make sure people weren't trying to bet that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
You
can
got
try.
the Buccaneers and the Saints tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Keep in mind, every Monday and Friday, we are broadcasting right here from the Bentley Sportsbook inside Southland Casino and Hotel in West Memphis, Arkansas. You ever in the area around lunchtime, stop by, see the show, hear the show, maybe get a T-shirt. I know you're going to pack a few up that the high risers have won over the time.
Yeah, I'm going to give them all the smalls.
There you go.
That'll make y'all's heads look really big on their chest. Wearing medium shirts.
Exactly.
I wonder if they, we didn't confirm whether we needed to autograph those before I send them up.
Oh, we can.
That'd be sweet.
That would be sweet.
It
Yeah.
would decrease the value on them, I think, Kevin.
No. Nah.
And we still got a couple of slots open if you want to be an average Joe. I'm still trying to rebook OC for the rematch, and it looks like we'll have him right after the Christmas week. So
Well, I better start sharpening my skills because
I know,
after this
we got to
week.
take him down and at least get to even 1-1 on the year. And it looks like we'll have to talk enough smack to get Kyle on board one more time too, so he can tell us what landscapes he
Well,
likes.
he might be on next week.
might be a back-to-backer, huh?
Well, it might be a little team thing. We'll
It
see.
might be a little teams thing. We'll see how many people can actually show up. That will be the key.
That's the
Right.
key.
And we'll find out when that guy
Mhm.
ends
Yeah.
up down there, and he can tell me when they go down there and have their team building exercises
It's
in
Ohio.
Miami. To go to Ohio in January for
I
20
think,
days.
I think y'all should have an odds boost on whether you two combined can beat OC because he's pretty good at this.
Well, we already did that.
We already did that once. It was 4-3 to 6, so we
Yeah.
beat him by
Oh,
one.
you beat him by one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we beat him by one. And that's sad. Two people beat him by one.
There's your rematch right
There's
there.
your
2-on-1.
2-on-1. Yeah, we're going to get him one way or the other. All right, we'll be back on a Friday show where we'll pick the initial games for the NFL in our Pick 6 contest. We'll have some NBA and college, probably the best of the weekend, to take you all the way through Sunday with what we can find anyway. And then I should have the slides done on Friday that will show the futures for the college football that Mark and I did way back during the summer on the Power 5 conferences. The Pac-12, I did not mark up the first time I had the sheet, so I had to go back and listen to the podcast to make sure I had it right. Initially, before I listened to, I was 100%. Mark didn't pick a single one right, but I found out that was wrong.
That's right. It was flip-flopped.
It was flip-flopped. No, it wasn't. We'll show you how well we did. We
Mark's
did make
90%.
I can tell you. I think I could tell you this. I made money on the Alabama one. Oh, Nick Saban. When do they play in the college football playoff? Bye-bye, Todd.
Who do they play?
See you next year.
They play Kansas State, I think, in a bowl game.
Kansas State.
Yeah.
I think it's in the Sugar Bowl.
All right.
Put on your big boy pants there. Kansas State, I think they might be a little mad. Who are you going to take in that game?
Alabama minus 21.
You should just be
Ooh.
practicing. The only thing you should be focused on right now, end of the month.
End of the month. Yeah, the Eagles. I won't even look at that fight song until the 25th. If
Well,
I
just in
have
case
to.
you don't want to read, I do have it queued up for you.
All right. Since Preston came on, give it to him one last time.
Oh, yeah.
They suck or I'll die. All right.
Let's get out of here.
I think I'm getting the.
Let's get out of here.
We'll see you Friday. Hit that
Yeah.
beautiful beat
Yeah,
footage.
Friday.
Thank you for listening to the Odds Brothers podcast.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Presented by the Bentley Sportsbook. Place your sports bets here from inside Southland Casino or from anywhere in Arkansas at southland.bentley.com.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
Be sure to follow the Odds Brothers podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, and YouTube. Keep in mind, in Arkansas, you must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas to bet. Please play responsibly. For help quitting, call 1-800-522-4700.